3 Dubai buildings and masterpieces that amazed the world.
Here at Constructive Minds, we've compared the construction industries of many countries around the world, like the US, China, Spain, and Singapore.
And we've always had one fundamental question: which country do you think has the craziest and most audacious buildings?
Good news, after watching this video about Dubai, we promise your perspective is bound to change.
Dubai is not just a city, it's an engineering statement. But how does all this sheer magnitude stand up?
Today we're diving into the heart of the city's structural innovations, from the buttressed core system in the Burj Khalifa that braces it against the wind,
to the challenge of the artificial island and the steel exoskeleton of the Burj Al Arab, towering over the salty waters of the Persian Gulf.
and of course the Museum of the Future, a toroidal structure with not a single internal column, proving that engineering is no longer confined to straight lines, but is a function of algorithms and robotics.
We're not just admiring the architecture here, we've gone into the concrete, how structural torsion is controlled, and the challenges of foundation execution in Dubai's sandy subsoil.
Hello, I'm Eleanor, meaning shining light, and I'm here with my friend Teodore to unlock the technical secrets behind Dubai's structural masterpieces for you.
We're with you from the Constructive Minds YouTube channel. This is the place where a team of engineering and architecture experts gather to reveal the secrets behind the world's urban megastructures.
If you love strange structures, engineering analyses, and bold architecture, then subscribe to the channel right now and hit the bell so you don't miss any exciting episodes.
You know, when you think of Dubai, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's those incredible skylines, right? Structures that just seem to defy gravity. But what's the real story behind them? Today, we're going to go beyond the glitz and glamour to uncover the sheer engineering genius that makes these impossible structures a reality. Let's dive in.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this unbelievable transformation from a flat, scorching desert into a futuristic metropolis. A journey that, honestly, forced a complete rethink of what we thought was even possible to build.
And that leads us to the big question we're asking today. Are these just flashy symbols of wealth, just about being the biggest and the boldest, or is there something deeper going on here? We're going to investigate 3 iconic buildings to figure out if they're truly pioneering the next era of engineering. Okay, first up, the Titan itself, the Burj Khalifa. This is a building so ridiculously tall that its main enemy isn't even gravity. It's something way more unpredictable, the wind. Let's just try to wrap our heads around this for a second. 828 meters. That's over half a mile straight up into the sky. At that height, you're not just building a skyscraper, you're basically building a giant sail. The wind up there can create these powerful swirling vortices that would literally shake a normal building to pieces. So, how on earth did they solve a problem that massive?
Well, the solution is just fascinating. The engineers actually got their inspiration from a local desert flower. They developed something called a buttressed core. Now, don't just think of it as a strong central pillar. It's more like a massive tripod. You've got this super strong hexagonal concrete core, and it's braced by 3 wings, which forms this incredibly stable Y shape. And that shape is the secret to everything.
So here's the really clever part. They didn't just try to fight the wind with brute force. They outsmarted it. The whole process is brilliant. As you can see, that Y-shaped footprint breaks up the wind right from the ground. Then, as the tower climbs higher and higher, these spiraling setbacks mean the building's profile is constantly changing. The wind never gets a clean shot. It never gets a consistent surface to grab onto. And that prevents those destructive vortices from ever forming. They literally confuse the wind. It's incredible. All right, so let's go from the sky right down to the sea. Our next building, the Burj Al Arab, takes this whole idea of innovation and plops it into a completely different element, facing, well, an arguably much more complex set of challenges. I mean, think about it. Building on land is one thing, right? You've got stable ground, you can get your trucks and cranes right there. But building a skyscraper 280 meters out in the ocean, now you're dealing with shifting sand, the constant force of waves, salt water trying to eat away at everything. It is a completely different ballgame. This was a totally unprecedented challenge. So how'd they pull it off? Well, first, they had to build the very ground they were going to build on. They created this whole artificial island, protecting it with these special honeycomb concrete blocks that just soak up the power of the waves. But that island, that was just the beginning. The real foundation is deep underground, or I guess under the seabed. They drove 230 massive concrete piles deep down into the sand to create an anchor of solid rock. Okay, so the foundation is secure, but they still needed to make the tower itself strong enough to handle the forces of the open ocean. And that's where this iconic exoskeleton comes in. It's this giant steel frame on the outside of the building. It basically acts like an external skeleton, bracing the whole structure against wind and waves, and giving the Burj Al Arab both its incredible strength and that famous sail-like shape.
For our final case study, we're looking at a building that seriously looks like it was pulled from a sci-fi movie. A structure that seems to defy the basic rules of geometry and support. The Museum of the Future.
The challenge here is it's mind-boggling. This entire structure is made of over 2,000 unique interlocking steel beams. But, and get this, it has zero, absolutely zero, internal columns holding up that massive hollow center. So the immediate question is, how in the world is this thing even standing up? The answer is something called the diagrid. It is an unbelievably complex, algorithmically designed steel web. Every single one of those 2,400 beams intersects to form this perfect rigid shell. This structure is so efficient at spreading the weight across its entire surface that it completely supports itself. The skeleton is the building. There's no separation.
And here's what's so wild. This building is a child of the digital age. It literally could not have been created 20 years ago. It was born from data. Computer algorithms designed the complex geometry. Robots then manufactured all the unique pieces, and then everything was assembled on site like a giant high-tech puzzle. This really marks a shift into a new era of digital construction.
So, after tackling wind, the sea, and impossible geometry, what does it all mean when we bring these three incredible structures together? What is their real legacy? This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? Each building faced a unique, monumental challenge: wind, geometry, the sea, and each one answered with a completely groundbreaking innovation. From the buttressed core, to the digital diagrid, to that offshore exoskeleton, they didn't just solve existing problems. They invented entirely new ways to build.
And here's the thing. The impact of all this goes way beyond just one city. The Burj Khalifa basically wrote a new playbook for building super tall towers. The Museum of the Future gave architects all over the world the confidence to design these incredible, complex open spaces without columns. And the Burj Al Arab, it provided a blueprint for how to build in the water. These aren't just Dubai's achievements, they are now part of the global engineering toolkit.
So let's go back to our original question. Are these buildings just symbols? Absolutely not. They are so much more than that. They are proof of concept. They are full-scale functioning laboratories that have pushed the boundaries and shown the entire world what is truly possible when you match massive ambition with breakthrough innovation.
But this all leaves us with one last really crucial question. These projects proved what could be done. The next great challenge, though, it's not just about getting bigger or more complex. It's about building smarter, more sustainably. So after seeing what this generation accomplished, what impossibilities will the next generation of engineers dare to create?
It truly must be admitted, in recent decades, Dubai hasn't just built structures, it has written a new history of engineering.
Exactly. Each of these structures, whether the Burj Khalifa with its buttressed core or the smart curved shell of the Museum of the Future, has overcome a unique technical challenge.
I think you now understand why we said your opinion about the world's most audacious buildings might change. Has Dubai surpassed New York, Singapore, or Shanghai with these achievements?
Let us know in the comments. Comparing Dubai with other global megacities is a hot engineering debate that definitely needs to continue.
This content has been produced by the Constructive Minds YouTube channel.
If you are interested in deep and engaging videos in the field of construction and structures, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button so you don't miss the next video, and if this video was helpful for you, share it with your engineer, architect, or construction-loving friends.
Until the next video, goodbye.